Hi guys, I know I've not really been around too much, and I do apologise for the lack of content and even on the audio stuff and not even catching up or anything and making a lot of false promises last year. Over this month I've sorted out my office, I'm getting back into a lot of things, I'm focusing on the comic as well, which you guys have seen probably on my Facebook. Here's more on that, and I will make it up to you guys, swear. Peace out. Hello everyone, welcome to SISE Saturday, where we give you updates on the new comic series that we're doing for Project Rabbit, which is the group of us name, and what we will be using in the future. So, I'm in... I was gonna say I'm in with Sam. I'm here with Sam. Sam's in here.
Yeah.
Say hey, Sam.
Hello. How's everyone doing today? Mighty fine day.
Even though it's
Or
raining
afternoon or night, depending on where you are.
That is very true. So yes, today we're giving you a rundown, just a very brief history into the whole comic stuff and things like that. So, what is SISE? Sync Intergalactic Space Engineering. That's the name of the company. So hence why when you see the comic is called SISE Shadow, that's all about the character of Shadow, and she is an assassin that works for SISE. She does their dirty work. You've got SISE Dominance, which is one of the ships. That is a ship that basically is a peacekeeper, as well as we are the police, the ambulance, and any of your medical needs. We are the emergency services as well as the enforcers. Same with Devotion. Those two pretty much have the same job, but because there's 16 colonies, 4 of which are run by another company, so we don't get involved with them, and 2 are neutral ground, where anything goes with anyone. So nobody really cares about them unless you want to go out and be random. I don't know. So SISE Station holds about 50,000 people. A lot of them are very wealthy, paying customers and clients of the company. So there's no countries out here, it's all companies, because it's big money. There are a fair few ships that the company owns. So for example, there's Astral, a terraformer ship. Barter, which is the bartering and trade vessel. Then you've got Charter, that makes an awful lot of money charting basically the galaxy. But this is all based near Saturn, so this is not out of our sort of galaxy or Milky Way. This is quite close to home. It's based in 100 years in the future, so it's not a big jump. There's no massive speed jumps or anything like that. Just technology's got better, so we can move faster.
Nothing way out there that we possibly could expect at some point.
Yeah. But
Sort
there
of
are
like
mods, so people can have bio mods and things like that. Not a new brain, but there are androids. But yes.
I know it's like a bad analogy, sort of, but think cyberpunk, sort of, but space.
But not the look. So,
yeah.
Not the look of cyberpunk, but people do have some mods, like, for example, the commander of Devotion lost their eye. So they do have a false eye that has sort of a green glint to it that will see in the dark or do other things, and hence why her nickname is Farsight. So she can actually magnify the zoom, but other people can have, like, I don't know, biomechanical arms, legs, other parts, so if you get my drift by the way the comic goes. So yes, some people can have enhancements, shall we say.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, folks.
Yes. And they also have warships as well, but we don't get involved with them until much later in the series. So with the first set of comics, the main one is Shadow at the moment, which his release date is the 22nd of January. And check out our Facebook page, keep an eye on this YouTube channel, so click subscribe below. But if you want the
Hit that
not safe
subscribe button.
Yes. And hit the notification
Also, don't
bell.
forget, the notification button. I was just about to say that.
Yep. And
Woohoo!
And don't forget to check out our Patreon page if you want to see the not safe for work stuff that we can't post on Facebook, and also
The naughty stuff.
if you want characters and things like that, check that out. And also Kickstarter. So if you want to be really involved in the comic, actually in the comic, maybe as a character, then
Like,
check out those
legitimately
two.
a character.
A character.
Like-
And this is an open comic. You know, for example,
So-
we've got transgender male to female, female to males, we've got bisexual, we've got crazy sexuals. You know, this is an open comic. You know, you can literally
think
have a
of it-
character that could sleep with the captain of devotion. You could
you
do
think
whatever
of
you
it,
want.
you
Live
got
your
it.
fantasy.
You think of it, you got it.
But we do draw the line. So there is legal things that we will not add into it. So no incest. Come on, guys. That's just disgusting. Bestiality. No way. Maybe android fucking, but that's different. And then you've also got underage. No. Everyone on the station list, they've got kids.
Anything that you wouldn't do sort of publicly.
Mm-hmm. But yes, there is dominatrix. Shadow herself is a dominatrix, and there are no limits in the dominatrix thing, and no rape.
Mhm.
There will never be any rape in any of these
Yeah,
comics.
no, that's just
whatsoever.
that's a huge no right there.
Yeah, we will not have that in these comics. So we'll go over to Sam and talk about the Dominance comic. On you go, Sam.
Yes, hello. Or you can refer to me as Captain Damien Dante's. Nope, Dante Damien Seiler. Got it
Yup.
mixed up. Tired. Literally got off of work and I haven't done like any sleep yet. I'm overnights, guys. Overnights. So tired. I'm tired. Sorry.
Yes.
But back to it. Captain Seiler is sort of like the run-of-the-mill guy that gets a huge change in his life. As we forgot in the last segment that we
To share
recorded
your
and my
voice.
voice wasn't shared.
Who's
The
your dad
admiral
as well?
of that I was getting to it. I was just saying it.
I'm
Hold on. The my father is actually the admiral and the commander of SISE. He runs it. He's the head dude, and that gives me power. And that power sort of goes to my head at times, and it gets me in trouble, as you'll see within the comic. There's times where the power comes in handy, and I can use it to get my way and not have to deal with certain things in certain situations. It comes in handy with, like, say there's something that I want to do that normally, say, you couldn't. I could easily do that. I could get away with breaking the law if I really wanted to. But with dominance, I kind of am the law. Dominance is the service, protect, and, like, serve. That's what it is. We're sort of like police. We do have armies, but we don't want to use them unless we need to. So if there's trouble that comes in, like, say there's sort of like a situation that calls for the police, but the other police, which is Devotion, correct? If
Yes. Devotion's the sister ship.
say they're busy, who are you gonna call in that situation? You'd more than likely call Dominance. They'll come, they'll service it, they'll make sure that
Charge
everything's
you.
alright.
They'll charge you for their service.
Oh yeah, they'll 100% charge you for service. Nothing's free, guys. Nothing's free in SISE.
But size matters.
But size does matter. Every pun is intended here, folks. Just letting you all know this.
Yep.
Every pun's intended. Because not just because dominance is the service and protect thing, they're also the kinky fuckers of the group.
Yes.
Captain Seiler especially, he's letting himself go. He's free. He always was hard on himself before. And then he gained this power, and now he can be free. He can do what he wants. With a certain extent. Within, he does have morals, of course. He does care for people. but he also wants to get his job done and have a little fun here and there too. You'll notice with Dominance itself, every person is different that runs that ship. They're different. And they all have their special things. They all have their special quirks, their talents. And the engineers, the brothers, they're brothers, and they're definitely unique. You'll begin to love those characters as much as me and Nats do already.
Yep.
They're unique. Nats can go on in a second with that, but they're special. And with Dominance, it's the safe space for me, Captain Siler. It's the safe space. It's what we do. It's who I am. And you'll realize that as you read the comic more, and you'll learn to love the characters, especially.
Yes.
So,
and the captain is very flamboyant and doesn't mind expression himself, but is also open as well, open-minded. And you will find out a lot more based on that character as you read into it.
Very.
So yes, then we move on to Devotion, which is run by, I'll be doing the voice of Addison Driver, which is the captain, and also the voice of Shadow, which is Jenna Shadow, and then her surname would be Driver, but you don't really ever hear her name get fully mentioned. And they're sisters. There's a 10-year age gap between them. She's kind of the older sister, the more sensible one. She's kind of a bit out there. She's put herself a bit out there. She's not held herself back. She's just enjoyed life. But she is looking to kind of settle down with that one person. But also being free as well as Sylar. So Sylar and her kind of got held back for quite a while. Just due to histories. And 3 years ago a lot of it changed quite dramatically. She became the captain of Devotion. Sylar changed because of something that happened with Sylar, but you'll find that out in the comics, in the backstories. And when she becomes the captain of Devotion, she stays the captain with the same crew for about a year. Some of it changes. And then there's an incident that happens between her and her best friend. Something happens between them, which is now her commander. And the commander and her have grown up together. They're pretty much like not biologically related sisters. That's how well they know each other. They do everything together. They're pretty much party animals. But both have been through a lot as well in their life. And the commander and her are fundamentally inseparable. And with that, you'll find that bond between the two. Like, she'll know exactly what the captain wants to do before the captain even says it. And that's what makes them fantastic. But the commander has a false eye. She has a bionic eye that she is called Farsight for that reason. So she can see things a lot clearer. She has magnified vision. She can see in the dark. So she's an asset to the crew. And also being the best friend of the captain, you're going to be the commander straight away. The one person they can trust is each other. And with that, speaking of the next person in the crew would be the engineers. So they have one engineer. Devotion and Dominance have both brothers. So now I can't remember which way round it is, Sam. There's two hillbilly brothers, right? They've got the hillbilly accent. They're chill. But they're one's extremely fast paced and the other one's really slow. Which I think
you have the fast paced one and I have the slow one because I'm more of the fast paced person and you're more of the take it slow.
Yeah, whereas the captain driver's the slower one that can deal with the fast guy. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but one's black, one's white, but they have the same mum. But they're two brothers. They were already born very close apart to each other, like a year apart. And the craziest thing is one will speak extremely fast and the one will speak really slow, but they are tinkerers. They love to modify stuff. They love to get involved, so they can design like bionic arms, bionic legs. They can do whatever, and they modify the ships. And it's after the thing that happens that the captain driver approaches these two brothers and hires them, and then gives pretty much dominance, says, I want one, you have one. And that's the only way that he could kind of split the budget between the two. But both of the captains are extremely rich. You know, they don't have to worry about money at all. They can do whatever they want to their ships. So yes, it's kind of like a military operation, but these are actual private ships that are run by them that have their own mods within legal limits. Because SISE as a company still has. Your Rex died.
Oh,
So, yeah.
dude, that man was beaten by two Allosauruses. I raised the attack, and then a Velociraptor came out of nowhere and spanked him. He had 2.8 health left. God dang it. It was a beautiful purple color, too. I was trying to get it for you.
Oh, no. Yes, so that's the two brothers. You'll learn to love them because they are the amount of stuff they will come out with. Especially, they will have drugs. Now, it won't be like, you know, what we have nowadays is modified stuff that's, you know, based in the future and off certain planets. And when they do take this stuff, they both become normal. Which is going to be the kind of funny thing that when you see them normal. But Captain Driver and Sylar have a good history between each other because they're like good friends as well. They'll take shuttles for races and they'll just kind of chill together as two captains. Because the ships, as much as they work separate, they're extremely close as well because sometimes they do have to really work together. And if they're not on the same page, like the captains aren't friends, then it's not going to work. And so yeah, so Driver's still out there, she's very promiscuous, and if you read the devotion line, it's kind of more your action comic, your hard-hitting sort of stories with a bit of love and things like that, but it doesn't go over the borders, whereas Dominance will go kind of over the sexual borders and things like that, and then you've got Shadow, who is the dominatrix that takes it to another level.
Yep.
And that's kind of with Devotion. She has an android on the ship as well that's called Ava, that is a nurse. There's a doctor involved who's called Hot Rod Rodriguez that was changed extremely recently, hence why some of the storyboards have to be changed in some of the comics already. What was that?
The fucking T-Rex just did a Terminator. He fucking jumped into the lava and the last thing you see is his fucking arm sticking up.
Oh god. Yeah. So... And it's a Sam Squirrel moment, which Sam does all the time, and so do I sometimes. Yeah. So now moving on. Oofed? What oofed? That was a good thing.
The squirrel moments?
Yeah.
I mean, they are, but yeah. Who was you?
Hey, I haven't ticked yet. That's the main thing. I haven't whistled away to myself so far. And now we'll move on to Shadow. So, do you want to explain Shadow, Sam?
I thought you were explaining Shadow.
No, we can both do it. I'll
Yes.
start Shadow then. So, Shadow she's an assassin. She has a partner who's Chameleon, or Cam, or Cammy. And Chameleon is a gay man. But he does work as a dominatrix as well. He'll deal with both sexes when it comes to that. They don't sleep with their victims, we'll say, in the dominatrix center. But Shadow she'll like to play with her victims, get to know them a bit more. And that's why you'll see in some of them that she takes things a bit almost borderline, to the point that if she doesn't do something sooner, she may get herself into trouble. And Cammy's always there to kind of have her back, because that's what his job is. He's kind of the wingman of Shadow, and they always do everything together when it comes to killing and moving on. But they do SISE's dirty work. If the company wants someone to disappear, they have enough money to make people disappear. And with Shadow, in the Dominatrix Center, their boss, who was originally called Graham's, but somehow migrated onto someone called Darnell. And Darnell came up as a joke because of Call of Duty, but I will let Sam explain Darnell to you.
So, good old Darnell Uh, he, he is actually a female to male transgender. When you think about, like, think about Darnell as being a big, strong, jacked-looking guy, but then when you, from the top up, big, strong, jacked-looking dude, from the bottom, very skinny legs. Like,
Tiny little legs.
tiny little legs. Like, he's not like a midget, but he skipped a leg day for a long time.
Yes, very long time.
But the joke corresponding with Darnell is everyone knows The Rock. The Rock Johnson. And the Call of Duty character we call Darnell, we call him Darnell the Pebble Johnson because he looks like a dollar store ripoff of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So he's Darnell the Pebble Johnson, as our buddy Nick calls him, and we call him. But now, the reason being that Darnell is a transgender female to male, Nick told us, he's like, you took Darnell the Pebble Johnson, made him into Darnell No Pebble Johnson. So, we're like, dude, that's great.
We'll
gotta be a transgender now. We'll use it. There we go.
Yep.
Like, Darnell's a nice dude. He's kind and caring, and he loves his workers to death. But you're like, there's no way in bloody hell that this man's running this strip joint. Because of his voice. It's his voice that does it. And it's great because then you'll mess with him and then you'll become a puppet.
Yes. A good old hand
You'll
puppet.
get good old hand puppet. So basically Darnell's just one giant joke.
That is now a character.
That's now a fantastic character that you'll learn to love because of how, like, off it is.
Yeah.
But it's great. You'll love it.
And it's gonna be voiced by someone who's extremely shy, but a woman. And there's also a man going to voice part of it as well. So the voice is actually going to fluctuate between man, woman, man, woman, man, woman. And it's a very feminine voice with a very deep, manly voice that will be coming out of Darnell's mouth. So when Darnell gets angry, it's going to go, what are you doing? The high, like,
yeah, like the high squeak pitch. And
then when they're talking
it's like...
normally, it's like, hey, what are you doing? So it's kind of going to go, woof.
Yep.
So you can tell when Darnell's stressed or pissed off. The woman voice will come out.
Oh, 100% easily you'll be able to tell. Like, no doubt in my mind, you guys wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah. And, but that will be in the audio book versions. There will be audio logs coming out as well, and every Saturday we'll be doing this sort of podcast / YouTube video on the SISE, Project Grabbit channel. And, and that's actually from a joke as well. The whole entire name and everything is from jokes and our own minds. Like, for example, the whole entire SISE idea was me and a friend were talking at work, and she was saying how she's not very promiscuous and how would she, explore her own mind. And I was like, you're speaking to the right woman. Because I'm very open-minded and very out there. And so we let her fantasies and things like that, and my fantasies, and then Sam got involved, and then Sam's fantasies. And fundamentally, the whole entire thing got so fucked up that we've had to split it into, like, 3 separate ones, or else if you tried to read one of them with all of these storylines as one comic, or one massive one, there will be some people that can't stand it for some reason, and other people
You
can't stand it.
God damn it.
You'll
Stop
get little
finding these
flowers.
stupid jokes.
Little flowers that will be like, oh, I can't read this. This is like, oh my god, there's like gay people in here, or there is hand puppets, and this is just disgusting. And and whips
It was
and
legitimately
chains
just
and
one
people in
giant.
kinky
Think about it
outfits.
as like. Think of it as like a sandwich. Think of it as like a McGangbang. Like you know it's good,
Yeah.
but you're like, what the fuck?
But in order to get all the story, so yes, you'll have the devotion, which will run as a separate story, but if you read the other two comics, you'll get the background as how she becomes the captain, because you only get told that briefly in devotion, whereas if you really want the actual background, you've got to read Shadow and Dominance. To get the whole sister side between Shadow and Devotion, you've got to read Devotion to find out how Shadow knows Driver, pardon me, because you'll never see her name. And other stuff. So yes, you can read each story by itself, and they're graphically different. So if it's your graphic style, then go for it. But keep an open mind, because if you want to know everything, you have to read them all.
And we're not forcing you to read like all of them to get like stories and stuff. No, each one's on their own. So if you want to strictly read one of them, by all means, read that one. Like even like thank you for reading it, and thank you for like supporting it. We like thank you guys
and
so
feedback.
much. We appreciate it dearly.
Your
like,
comments and feedback would be amazing.
is so important. And who knows, even with your feedback and comments, you might like some of the stuff that you say we will change or throw in. Like we're not here to criticize at all. Like if you think something should be changed, by all means, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, if you think your mind level is like, ooh, for example, I do a lot of exotic voice work and things like that. I know a lot of people's fantasies, right? And Sam as well is very open-minded and has helped me even with some of my stuff as well, because we talk about scenarios, we talk about scenes, we talk about... That's another random thing that we're never going to go into ever again.
You have the good old country hotness now.
Oh yeah, I get caught looking at hot country men as an inspiration for the comic with my headphones on, and then my dad taps me on the shoulder, and I've never shat myself so far in my life. Yeah, but stuff like that happens when you're doing research. I swear. And so yeah. But anyway, guys. So if you think your mind is a little bit kinky and things like that, take it 300 steps further and you might actually hit Dominance, Devotion, and Shadow. Although Devotion will be nice and simple, plain, with some just kinky stuff between couples and men and women and things like that. But if you want the other stuff, read the other two. So yeah, if you're just down for something plain, and as we're going to call it, vanilla, or missionary, then read Devotion with some kinkiness and a hot storyline. Where if you want total Napoleon ice cream, then go for Dominance and Shadow. No, in fact, chocolate chip would be Shadow. Mint chip.
Yeah, chocolate chip would be Shadow,
chocolate mint chip would be Shadow.
Chocolate mint chip.
Napoleon would be Dominance. Yeah, this is how we describe our comics, as ice cream, so okay.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, don't forget, if you want to spoil it, check it out. Check out all the links in the description below, and thank you very much for putting up with our voices for the past like half an hour or so. And give us some feedback on how you think things look. Also the art styles, what would you say about it? And yeah, that's kind of all from me. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, just like, guys, thank you so much. Like, even with like the littlest feedback or the as much feedback as you want to give, like, thank you. We appreciate it a lot. Like, making a comic is something that a lot of people may want to do, but never get the chance. Like, for me, like, I'm a huge nerd, and I play video games off of work, and I work night shift. I work god dang near 12-hour, 13-hour days as, like, and I work for health, too. I work as health. I work with health and everything to do with health, so I'm stressed a lot. But this comic and, like, video games. It helps a lot, and your like input is gonna help even more, and it's gonna further the comic. It's gonna further the audio, and just thanks, guys. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Even though like it's just beginning. Thank you so much already.
Yeah, and I know I started with the comic idea a fair while ago, and then it was only when really speaking to my colleague in work, Sam, another Sam. Thank you, Sam. Who you will see on the Facebook page and things like that. Anyway, but yeah, if it wasn't for just me kind of going, I've got part of these comic pages, I've still got them, what do I do with it? And kind of go from there, and oh, nice dinos. And that's really it, and I have to thank Sam and Sam, also Nick and everyone as well behind the scenes that have kind of been there as our support network. My dad is a really big help and supporter, and just kind of kept us all kind of motivated with it. And you guys, because having so many followers on Facebook already, which some people may say, oh, like 60 odd followers on Facebook is not that big a deal. To us it is. You have no idea how much of a deal that is to us. So thank you so much for your support. And we would just like to say, don't forget, on the 22nd of January, you'll find Shadow will be out there. And it's going to be public, and it's going to be scary.
Yeah, it honestly is.
Oh, beautiful. I like it,
Purple.
Yeah, squirrel. Oh, it's blue, I would say. Purpley blue. Ink blue. Yeah, so that's just what we like, guys. Sorry, we get easily just... but we've been extremely focused on the comic, and it's actually, from really thinking about the comic and things like that, it's only taken us 6 months to get to where we are now. And with Project Rabbit starting up, the big overall project of everything, like the YouTube channel and more stuff, live streaming will be coming into it, so if you want to see us gaming, get to know us as people, it will all be there. And sorry this has droned on for like over half an hour, and we've taken up half an hour of your day, and it's the 2nd of January, so Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, Happy New Year's.
And thank you so much for listening to us and joining on. And if you got to the end of the video, hit a comment that you say you made it to the end of the video, because we are doing a giveaway of FIFA 21 to UK viewers. Sorry, we haven't got a code for the American one. But yes, so if you made it to the end, say FIFA 21 and then put Happy New Year or a comment below. But as long as you put FIFA in it, then we'll know you made it to the end, and you can be entered into that giveaway. So thank you very much for watching. Peace out, guys. Like and subscribe if you're here, and hit that bell notification. Shut up.